Welcome, everybody, to the Hot Topics podcast. This is Cycle 4081, and we have...
Lamb chop.
And felonious feather.
So, you can make it easier because, I'm mic 1, you're mic 2, she's mic 3.
Okay, that
so
makes sense.
We'll go this way.
Okay.
All right. So, anyway, you guys, thank you for tuning in again. I'm too loud.
You are loud.
Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. So we're going to kick this off with our trending news. First of all, how are you doing today, Miss LA?
Mr. Superman, I'm very well, thank you.
Oh,
I'm
he's
okay.
Superman.
Just go back. No,
That's
not
right.
like
Yeah, I'm
not
Superman.
like literally.
Yes, I'm Superman.
He just has a Superman shirt.
Gotcha.
That's why
No,
it's
no.
definitely far from Superman. No, I didn't mean that to praise him. No, definitely not.
Okay.
Okay, how are you tonight, Thug Life?
I'm pretty good. I started to put on my Thug Life shirt today and changed my mind. My son said I looked like a robber when I went out today.
A robber?
Yes. Because I had on my black Air Force Ones and some black joggers and a black tee. He was like, you look like you about to rob somebody's house.
A jacker.
Hey.
Was it how it was on Bugs Bunny, baby face spinster? or little man. Little man. You know what we talking about?
You get on my nerves.
Bugs Bunny. You ever heard of Bugs Bunny?
Duh.
All right, so do you have any trending news or anything like that? So I got a few things out.
Oh well, let's hear it.
Okay.
You always have a few things.
I have
I
a
do.
few things to say the way.
So, first one up is the Trump hush money trial.
Yep.
I have to throw him in there. He's always making, headlines. So, Donald Trump would like his fans to protest outside of the courthouse.
Wow. Well, they
Oh,
have
did
a
you
right
hear-
to do that.
Did you hear? I'm sorry. Did you hear about somebody burning?
Oh,
themselves?
yeah.
What happened?
Somebody let themselves on fire. But you know what? I couldn't figure out if somebody outside the courthouse decided to light themselves on fire.
To protest the trial?
I don't know. They didn't get the interview.
That's horrible. Stop it.
Hey, you
Clearly,
don't get no.
that person was psychotic.
Yeah. But they set themselves on fire. I don't know. I'm gonna guess it was probably because of
They didn't take their medication.
that, and they're pro
pro
Trump,
Trump.
and most of them are crazies anyway. Yeah, I said it. MAGA crazies.
I can't keep up
So,
with the disclaimers for you.
Did he die? Did he fall?
I don't know. I just know they lit him. I mean, he lit himself up, and he,
Oh my God.
they were out there, with marshmallows and.
You know
Sticks.
what? Stop it. This is not funny. That man is. Oh.
Well,
I'm sorry, family.
I don't know, but I don't. Why would I burn myself for somebody? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah,
like,
I don't
for
understand
For
that.
what reason? The person is
Clearly,
probably
he's,
the person probably shagged his wife yesterday night. Or today. So and then you're dead.
Well.
clearly he's not well.
Yeah. But also, while I won't say prostituters, while prosecutors are allowed to present in designated areas outside of the, did I say protesters?
No,
What's it,
you said
prosecutors?
Prosecutors.
Okay. Protesters. They're allowed to go in designated areas to protest, right?
Right.
So this is what this guy, Donald J. Trump, wants. He wants them to reduce the security. So it encourages more of his protesters to come out and protest and make them feel more comfortable.
So he does know that he is an ex-president and he has to have security, right? Okay.
Yeah. So,
Just saying.
and not to mention that you see what happened on January 6th.
Right.
When he
When you
encouraged
reduce
his
the amount, right.
Yeah. So that was one thing. I just thought it was, kind of ironic that he would ask to or suggest less security so his protesters would feel more comfortable storming the courthouse. So yeah, that's the hush money trial. They're actually getting that kicked off, and we'll update you as we see more of the nonsense
And shenanigans.
Yeah. Oh, also in the name of protest, NYPD last week arrested dozens of students and other protesters on the orders of the university president. They said they continue to have a large presence around the campus as demonstrations continue. Now they're demonstrating.
For Israel.
Yes, yes, and they're not demonstrating
For
Israel. It's
but-
for the Palestinians.
Right.
So, and that's going to be another podcast so we can get in depth on that one. But Trump said, that's how I connect them. Before appearing in court, Trump called the pro-Palestinian demonstrations Hamas protests. Not the fact that they're just trying to, protest against the genocide and all other type of stuff, but they were pro-Hamas protests, and questioned why country-loving Republicans aren't allowed to peacefully protest around the courthouse where I am right now. Quote.
Oh my God.
Right?
Wow.
So he said it's like an armed camp. MAGA 2024.
Wait till you see what jail is like. I think that's an armed camp.
Well, orange jumpsuit matches his orange face.
Facts.
So, hey. Now, let me put my key cat on again.
You never take it off.
Scientists accidentally made a creation. Now, when scientists create stuff, it's usually not good. Something happens, right? So some scientists from the UK and USA discovered an enzyme in the soil of a plastic landfill. So they was on their research there. They found an enzyme in the plastic landfill, and while they were researching it, they accidentally mutated it.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
Kick off a horror movie, but they actually mutated the enzyme, and what it did was it broke down the plastic.
Wow.
Yeah, so they said it could take like 7 days, but they broke down the plastic bottles. So the good thing about that is if they can work it right, take a couple years for them to perfect it or kill us. So
One or the other.
Yeah, it'll you'll be able to recycle plastic bottles back into plastic bottles. But currently, right now, you can only recycle them into either carpet or clothing.
Something else.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the thing where it might just reduce the plastics needed. So I thought it was a good thing. But I think, my personal opinion, I think they should come up with a different way of making those containers. Like they have organic matter that they can use, maybe even soy. They use soy for everything else. I mean, I'm pretty sure something out there that they could use for containers instead of plastic that, will break down. But
Well, we need to reduce the amount of plastic we use.
yes, we do.
That's part of the issue.
Yeah.
And if they develop something that can break it down, will that mean we start using more plastic? You know?
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
You know?
So
because people will just be like, oh, they can break it down.
yeah,
You know?
right. So what was it? They said I think it said only 14% of all plastic that's created is recycled.
Really?
It was something really, really low.
Wow.
Yeah, and then there's a trash island. There's like floating trash in the ocean the size of Texas.
No.
Yep. So my guess is it's probably from when you have the hurricanes and people just throwing stuff out in the water anyway. But
people do that.
But you do the hurricanes and the flooding, and it takes,
Right.
washes it back in and it just accumulates.
Right.
So there's different big, huge, so the earth. Lastly, in celebrity news, now I don't know this person, but you guys are into handbags.
Okay.
Right. So you ever heard of Nancy Gonzalez?
I have not.
Okay. So it says handbag designer Nancy Gonzalez, whose animal skin-based accessories helped style stars such as Britney Spears and the ladies of Sex and the City. She was sentenced to 18 months in prison after pleading guilty to smuggling last year.
Smuggling animal skins?
Yes, she was smuggling her products, but they were made of
Exotic, probably skins that you shouldn't be
that was
using.
banned, and apparently it was a python skin. So she's from Colombia, and that she was bringing it into the country.
Ooh.
So yeah, don't drop the soap. Or does it apply just to men's prison?
I don't know. I've never been to prison. I don't want to find out.
Felonious, when you did your bid, did you?
Jesus.
When I did my what?
Yeah, when you did your sentence, like I know you only did 18 months.
Oh yeah, me and you, right? Both of
We're
us.
not-
Oh yeah, we went together.
So did you drop the soap?
You are special in every way.
So anybody want to add on any current news?
I do not have any current
Okay.
news.
Current news: Beyonce drops she has this airline that hair product thing. She made this hair product thing that caused
Okay.
some sort of controversy. Like people were like, "Oh, she doesn't even show her real hair." Blah blah blah. Blah
Oh,
blah.
you said hair product.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I said I didn't understand what I thought you said air. Like
You didn't
she
see her like
Like
touch
hair.
her hair.
she does this. People do stuff like this. It's crazy.
Oh, really? Am I dancing? Was I trying to dance?
What is that jazz hands?
So apparently it's secret hair. I'm gonna try it though because it says it's for natural hair. And then she showed off her hair because people were like, "Oh, we've never even seen your hair."
Right.
And she said she's been using the products and her hair is like really, really, really long and really full. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
And then and then it could help you too.
Help me.
I'm sure it's gonna sell out. I mean, the Beehive is all
Yeah.
about. I'm sure it's gonna sell out.
She gonna get Felonious money.
Well, if anything, to help my hair go better and smoother.
Ain't nothing wrong
and
with your hair.
sweeter
Oh, Lord
and
have mercy.
longer.
We need to do a podcast about black women and their hair. We could
Yes.
It's
spend a
really not
whole-
easy to maintain black woman hair.
It is too.
Really. No, it's not. What you mean?
It is too. Just
You don't even have any hair.
all you do is
stop making noise.
put it in a puff ball and you good to go. I'll tell you what I did my daughter's hair when she was little.
Oh, that poor baby.
I did my best, but she said she was like, "Daddy, you put my hair in a poof."
That poor thing.
It's like I got this. I got this.
Yes, we will do that. Too. We will add that to the list of shows that we should do.
Black ladies' hair.
It's not an easy thing.
It is not an easy thing.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yo, you can go to the barbershop just like us. get you a fade.
I have had all the hairstyles, and I used to let Jeff cut my hair at one point because
Oh, really?
it was natural and very, very short.
Oh, that's right. You said you had
all
a
the hairstyles.
Florida Evans.
Yep, I had a Florida Evans. Well, actually, they called me Mike Evans. My sons, love y'all. So yeah, we'll talk about that.
Before we leave off of current stuff, all right. Did you know they have an updated cartoon, Good Times?
I heard that. I was not interested in watching.
That
Have
is
you
the most
seen it?
ghettoest, embarrassing.
The original one was ghetto and embarrassing. I can't even watch
Is
it
worse. It's
now.
worse.
Can it get worse?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
jeez.
Yeah. So you got anybody out there who's actually watched the Good Times cartoon? Let us know what you think. Good,
About the
bad,
new-
ugly.
About the new one.
The new one, yes. I have my opinions on it, and you know,
pass.
did they have any black people in the boardroom when he was going to roll that out?
No, that's the problem with a lot of these shows, and that was the problem with the original Good
Right.
Times. It really wasn't
Right.
a lot of us writing the scripts and saying like this is not right.
That's
This
why
is not
James
what
left.
happens. That's exactly that, and JJ was becoming a
Buffoon.
buffoon.
yeah.
So yeah.
Have you ever seen the Good Times, Felonious?
You mean there's good times?
That good, yeah, not that one. That's the new one. That's the cartoon. Yes,
This
the
one?
original.
yes.
Oh no,
That came out in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not an ancestor, sir.
I am definitely ancestor.
All right. So if you saw our video today, what's today, wasn't it?
What video today?
Oh, about transgender athletes.
Oh, the question of the day.
Okay, so the question of the day was, do you feel that transgender women should be allowed to participate in female sports? Okay, so that's the question of the day, and that's our topic for the day. So one of the things when I was talking to people about it was the terminology. Like a lot of people were confused about the terminology. And I was like, I was kind of confused too.
Okay.
Transgender women are men that become women.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, which makes them men, whether they have boobs or whatever. Or, yeah, because they're still men. No matter what, they're still men. They were
Okay.
born men.
So we're going to talk about that. And we do have one that's coming, down the line on dissecting the LGBTQIA plus
Right. Don't forget.
community.
They,
Okay.
they keep growing.
I don't
'cause
know.
it was-
What is the plus?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll look that
Yeah.
up.
Maybe-
So while she's looking at what the plus is, let's do the actual definition of transgender.
Okay.
And I looked it up before we started, and basically it's just a person who identifies differently than the gender that they were born, and has started the process to become that gender.
Okay.
So it's not just saying I'm a man or I'm a woman. You have started the process.
Now, the process could be what? Like
hormonal replacement,
is it
surgery.
Okay.
You could all of those things.
okay?
And a cisgender
Okay.
is.
Bullshit. But
I'm gonna fight you. We are gonna fight on this one. We gonna fight.
You know what?
We're gonna fight
Because
on
I'm
this
gonna tell you, when I started diving into this, some of the things I was like, I'm not saying that shit. I'm like, because it pissed me off. But go ahead before you know.
Cisgender is you identify as what you were born as. So I'm a woman. I was born as a woman. I will be considered cisgender.
Okay.
So with you saying that you're not doing A, B, C, and D, let me just say this.
Okay.
That it was a time when people were just like, I'm not calling them black. They're colored. I'm not calling them African American.
But it's different.
They're this.
But that's different.
It's about representation.
But
Go ahead.
it's different because regardless of what color, like, you know, if I consider myself black, she considers herself, you know, brown person, or you consider yourself a beige person. But the thing is, you can't deny it. So when you talk about people identifying themselves as, you know, whatever, that's fine. You can identify, and I respect your decision to identify as whatever you want. But that doesn't mean that the entire world has to bend definitions to your will. That's the problem I have.
So you're saying you're not going to use their pronouns?
No, beyond pronouns. I don't care about the pronouns. But don't penalize me if I keep slipping and say sir. You know, you say you're a man.
And they take that personally. They really do take that personally.
Yeah. So, but that's natural. So you can't. Everybody's not going to just automatically, right overnight, just click in their whole entire existence.
Yeah, and change exactly
to
something
that's really
out of the norm.
Yeah. So
the LGBTQ plus blah 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 whatever stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and asexual. The additional plus stands for all other, meaning there are other ones coming.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
They're not coming. They're here.
That stands for all other identities not encompassed in the short acronym, an umbrella term that is often used to refer to a community as a whole. So it means it holds a space. The plus holds a space for expanding and new understanding of different parts.
So basically, they didn't want to use any more extra letters.
Yeah.
So the plus is anybody who's
whatever you want to
jumps
be.
out and says, "Okay,
I'm chromosexual."
Okay. Okay.
This is gonna be a long night.
So one of the issues I had was when, you know, looking at this definition of the transgender was and I've heard this in other conversations or articles, whatever, the part where they say assigned at birth.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. I really have a problem with that because technically you were assigned at birth because that's what you have. Mm-hmm. You know, unless you had both.
Right.
But it's not like, you know, don't say, well, I was assigned. No, you that's what you were. It's a historical fact or record. Don't change the birth certificates and all that. That's another story too, but you know, whatever.
So there was this thing I'm trying to remember his name, the Kardashian father's name. What's his name?
Oh, Caitlyn Jenner.
Yes. And then he said
her. Okay. That's her pronoun. That is her pronoun.
When it was a he,
well, he's a father.
He was Bruce Jenner.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
That was before your time.
Whatever. They said that she was able to change her birth certificate to show.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think that is horrible. You cannot change facts.
The sex at birth.
You can't change history.
So what is
I have a problem with that.
What is the ramification for you if she decides to change her
birth
certificate?
that is like an untrue information.
So here's my issue. Like, I am all for having, when we talk about history, statistics, records, for it to be true. If it's wrong, then you correct it. But if you was born as a male, because you had a pole and not a hole, then but you are a male. You can't change that. That's a historical fact. So if you later on decide that I want to do, and it doesn't matter like how you feel, but if you later on down the line you decide you want to be a female or what the non-binary or whatever, that's fine. That's kudos to you. Do what you need to do, but you don't go back and change historical records. It's more than just a birth certificate. Like I want to. No, it's a historical fact. So, like me, I do ancestry search. That would be a colossal failure if you had to go back and then try to find the ancestors or whatever, and somebody says that.
But both of those records are there. Both of those records are going to be there.
No.
So he changed it.
No.
So the wife or the ex-wife was like, "Do you mean you were like that? Means you never existed? Like." When they were together,
so you're saying that Bruce Jenner does not have a birth certificate on record.
Correct.
It's now Caitlyn.
Yes.
Okay.
So in Maryland, this is something that came up a few years ago, and I actually inquired about this. But one of the things where they say, well, if you can change your birth certificate, maybe have a some type of notation in there and say there's a whatever. But they said no, there's no designation. It has to be original, like it's an original. And I have a problem with that. I have a serious problem with that because it's not true. And like I said, I don't care what you want to be or how you want to do it. That's your business. It's not hurting me. But I have a serious problem with, not having true records, not having true facts. We have a hard enough time right now trying to get actual history, corrected to what it is. So,
right.
And not to, beat on them too much. Like I say, I don't have anything against them, but it's certain things that you should not change. You don't like, if I didn't like my mother and, I want to go back and say, oh, well, I didn't like my mother. So, I want to make her my grandmother.
That's different.
No, it's not. It's changing the records.
Yes, that's different.
It's changing the records. That's all it is. So anyway, that was the,
how about the people that identify as like cats? Sorry.
No, seriously. There were people out there that said, well, identify as a cat. And they was like, well, to accommodate them, we have to provide them with a litter box.
It's in their house.
No, school. So at some point you got to say, you know what? Let's cut the nonsense, and you can only go with so far.
I don't think this is nonsense, though.
Allow you to be who you are, but because
you're not allowing them to be who they are. You're cutting off all of these things from them.
We're not cutting all of things.
There was this thing I saw on Instagram. I don't know if I sent it to you a long time ago, and then this woman was complaining that her the child's teacher was being mean to the child or something. I can't remember the story.
I remember
that the child was putting up his paws or something along like maybe he was trying to lick his paws or trying to do something, and then the teacher kept trying to correct the child or something along those lines, and then she was outraged like, that's my child trying to, that's how
express themselves.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the child had a paw.
At some point.
It's just like, and then you're like, oh, fellow mothers that the kids identify as stuff. Let's go together.
I bet you they're out there. I guarantee you they're out there.
At some point, you got to say, you know what? You have your freedom to do whatever you want. If you want to have that in your home. But the rest of society does not have to cave into your, like not just yours, but every single, variations of whatever. So
like
at some point,
they just wake up
stop.
one day and then they just want something different. Just wake up one day and then
it's more complicated than that. People are just not waking up one day saying, "I want to be transgender."
Yeah,
it's way more complicated.
No. The rules is what. But then
the rule. You talking about the rules, not the
rules. Like, oh, okay, and then no, it's the forcing it down people's throat that I have an issue with. Like, okay, of course I'm gonna forget. I kept saying he because. In my head, this person's a man, so I can't really see you yet. I'm still trying to take that in, like a female. You get what I'm saying? So you don't have to take offense. And other people trying to address you as, like for me, a female now. Okay, I saw one video where somebody addressed a man as a he. I mean, a woman as a he. And for a normal woman, if somebody says man or sir to me, I'll just find it funny. I'll laugh. You understand what I'm saying? That is me because I'm comfortable. I know what I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to prove it to anybody. I don't have to be mad at anybody for saying, sir. sir, or I'll just laugh at it. I'm like, oh my God, since when do I start looking like a man? You know what I'm saying? But they always have an issue when you say, oh, sir. Say, oh, do I look like a sir? Do I look like... They always have an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? That's still not being comfortable. Even though you change yourself to be a woman, you have the hair, you have everything, but you're still insecure about what you say you are. You get what I'm trying to say?
That could be with anybody. That could be with anybody, not necessarily
It could.
Transgender. That could be with
but,
anybody.
But specifically that. So getting back to because we're gonna have that whole podcast on
To
that
the topic,
yeah.
yes.
So now she gave you the definition of a transgender woman and man
Person.
right? Person.
Right,
Okay.
person.
Now the question came up because, and I hate the fact that they asked her this when University of South Carolina won the NCAA championship, the women's team, and somebody asked Coach Dawn Staley if she thinks that trans women should be allowed to play,
What did that have
women's
to
sports.
do with her winning the
Exactly.
Okay.
It was, to me, that irritated me because that, it has nothing to do with, they just won the championship. Speak about the championship.
Right.
Speak
right.
of how great the players played.
Right.
Speak about how great her coaching is. But they asked that and then put her in the middle of something. Of course, she couldn't say, well, I don't want to talk about that. Well, she could have in a different way, but she said, well, yeah, I think they should be able to play. Now that just gave a whole bunch of people the ammunition to say, what? And then the other side, I guess they were like, well, yeah, we like her because she agrees and we should make this happen. And because this is not happening, we're being discriminated against. So that's where it came from. We have all our different opinions on that, but we're going to talk about that. So, but just for clarification again, transgender woman was labeled as a male at birth, but has the gender identity of a female, and vice versa for the men. Okay, because a lot of people get that confused.
You don't see it too much in the reverse. Like
What?
I don't see a lot of women to men, woman to man, transgender doing man sports.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You don't see
right.
it too much in that.
And that's
right.
and I think there's a reason for that. But just looking into it, we talked about the non-binary,
right.
which
I mean,
someone.
sorry to cut you short. There was this also this beauty pageant where a trans woman, that's a man that became a woman, won Miss Netherlands.
Okay.
That was 2023 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Which.
So you know what, I have less of a problem with that. Right. I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's the same thing.
No, it's different. Because if a man decides to change themselves into being a woman, okay, and by all means, it doesn't matter whether they have a vagina or not. It's the fact that they're living their life as a woman. They're doing things as a woman. They're doing everything that a woman has, the whatever. They're a woman. I get that. But when we talk about sports, that makes a difference because
physical ability.
There's a biological difference. When you talk about somebody in a beauty pageant, there's no biological difference. It's whoever talks the best
and talented. But
now,
they are changing with hormones and things that are going to make them into a woman.
Yes.
So,
I get what you're saying, that okay, it has nothing to do with like abilities or whatever. It's
right.
just like how you look.
Right.
And how, but then it's still, I feel it's still the same thing, because there should be a maybe trans beauty pageant.
There's plenty of trans beauty pageants.
So
Okay.
like they should not be involved in like real women. Well, sorry, I don't know what to say.
They call them cis women.
Right, cis women.
Naturally born women. That's what I'm gonna say.
Or cis women. Yeah.
And I hate
So
the-
we
hate
have
the
a
fact
name
that,
now.
it's women are women.
We have
yeah.
a name.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Well, yeah, but I think it's a little bit different on that when it comes to sports,
still-
because
to
there's
me, it's still the same.
you separate them for a reason, right? So it's a little different. But
This
now
is gonna make my head hurt.
the non-binary, someone who is non-binary does not identify as exclusively male or female.
Right.
That's also gender fluid.
Yes.
They may identify as both, neither, or some combination of the two.
And do they like change? Like, can I be something today and something tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Which is, like I said, I don't even have a problem with that. I have no problem with that. But when it's applied to certain things, I have a problem
So
with
tell me what your problem is with sports. And I personally feel like it's because you are into sports and sports is your thing. So what is the issue with sports, especially for someone who is transitioning to the point where they're taking hormones, and they have more female hormones than male hormones?
Okay, so even the hormones doesn't make you
Female.
doesn't take away your biological, composition. You just the hormones just make you have breasts and change. Like maybe I've seen somebody who had changed it, like even the structure a little bit.
Right.
So
no facial hair,
right.
all of those things.
So that means nothing. So give you a quick story. I was at the dollar store. No, actually, I was at the plaza, but I stopped at the dollar store and I saw a dog out there that was tied to the fence. And I like animals. So the person comes up there and says, start talking. I was like, hey, what kind of dog it is? I'm chopping it up with him like for maybe 20, 30 minutes. So he asked me, hey, can, for whatever job I had at the time, they asked me about that. So I'm telling them, how to do it. And, they're telling me that story. And then he says, he asked me about the transgender thing. I said, no, we accept everybody. If you're transgender, you can join, the police department. And
Weren't you just trying to hide it?
I was by chance. So it was like, it's not a problem. I didn't know he was talking about himself, right?
Okay.
So he says, no, because I was, just thinking about that. And, he said, well, you're pretty cool about that. I was like, yeah, I don't, hey.
So himself, like, was he, when you're talking to the person, was the person a male or a female?
It was a male.
So she was a female.
She was
born. She was
assigned female.
She was a female in her former life.
I'm not going with that assigned.
She was assigned female at birth.
She was born a female.
So you did not even think he was a male?
I had no clue. He looked like a man in every sort of way, right? And I was like, "Oh, you mean I'm curious?" So I asked questions. I don't care who you are, right? I said, "Are you sure?" Let me say, I didn't believe him. So he pulls out the ID, I think it was, or in the ad. No, he showed me pictures of him back when he was a she.
Okay.
And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Oh my God, it was a great transformation. Like I would never have known unless he told me." So it didn't bother me. So I'm still talking about him, say, "Hey, just apply this and that, whatever." So I had no problems with that. But I just thought that it was interesting that I never would have picked it out.
Okay.
Like, but it was a and she was a nice looking girl, that changed into a
I need for people to stop
dude.
that. I need for people to stop saying, "Oh, he was a handsome man," or "She was a attractive woman." Like,
because
it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It does not.
Let me tell you why it
matter
matters
to them.
No, not to them. But I'm saying, well, the person who's saying it is saying it because it was kind of like a shock. Like you can go from a very beautiful woman to a very manly man. That's a huge transformation, right? That's why I said it. It's not the fact that that the looks mattered, but it was like you were the before had no type of masculinity whatsoever, not even a little bit. So that's why I said that. But getting into the sports, I'm gonna give the little statistics on it, just the background on it. You've heard it. You heard it in the news different times where they protested and took the court after trans women. Let me make sure I got that right. Trans women were competing in women's sports,
right, and
was killing it. So just based on that, people are like, "Well, that's not fair." That's why why a person who's biologically a male can compete in a sport that's designed for biologically female women, right? So that was another thing. So some of the states, several states, banned trans women and girls from participating on teams.
Yep.
And this goes back to high school and
and
whatever.
College, high school and college.
So a lot of them, a lot of other states are considering that. And I said, I thought
right
about
now it's between 18 to 24 states. Yeah, that has passed the bill.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Let me guess. There was the southern states mostly?
Texas started it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I see that, and like I said, before I tell you what my position is on it, but that was something. But now, despite all that, trans athletes have continued to shine, and this is where I have the problem. They're breaking college records and winning Olympic medals, all while publicly advocating for their rights. I have no problem with you advocating for your rights. However, what I do have a problem with is when you put somebody in a biological man that competes with biological women. The main thing is they have men and women's sports for a reason. They have the NWA, the NBA. They have the WNBA. So they have those things separate for a specific reason. It has nothing to do with bathrooms and stuff like that. It's more or less because they know we're separate, entities. We have, we're different people, and I'm gonna support my statement. Okay, I say you looking at me.
I'm so giving you the side.
I'm gonna support my statement. Okay, so what I did was I looked up. And I thought about some of the things I've seen. They had a transgender woman. No, was it? Yeah, transgender woman MMA fighter who fought a woman.
A cis woman.
A naturally born woman. We're going to have to fight over that one. So a cis woman. So a transgender woman was fighting a woman. A real woman.
Oh.
In an MMA match, right? What do you think happened?
Of course, the transgender woman's gonna whoop the hell out of the.
Beat the brakes off of her. Like seriously, beat the brakes off her. She had this big old, I forgot the term, he must something, on her head, and she looked like, you remember that episode of Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns?
Oh
no, that's what happened. So I'm like, that's messed up. You don't have the women boxers fighting men boxers. Why? So that's the problem I have.
Okay.
Obviously, the reason why they separate those is because men are supposedly, not always, but supposedly stronger and built for certain things where a woman is not. So to support my statement, I pulled up some track and field stuff, right? So we looked at the fastest times in the 100-meter dash, right, for women. Most people know Jackie Joyner-Kersee, right? Mm-hmm. She's FloJo.
Right.
Lightning fast.
Yeah.
Was smoking them, right? She has the world record. And what was it? It was like 10 point something.
Who's the new girl now?
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh my God. Yeah, she is everything. Yeah.
So FloJo's record time in the 100 meters is 10.49 seconds, which is...
That's crazy.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so remember, 10.49. Now, the men's 100 meter... I went from the top 100 or top 90 something, right? Number 93, 9.94.
Still faster than a woman.
So he would have smoked FloJo,
right?
Yeah.
And he couldn't even compete in the men's thing. So if you look at it that way, obviously to me that'll tell you when you have a male who puts in the work like a real athlete would do, just put in the work and competed with the women, and they still put in the work, like say FloJo, that's a problem. That's a problem. And what I will always say is that, okay, if you want everybody to compete and say it doesn't make a difference, then go ahead and merge the WNBA and the NBA, right? Let's put the women's team, the women's players, and the men's players all in the same league and make no discrimination about it. Equality. Gender equality, right? I guarantee you that there will be not one female basketball player from the WNBA that would make an NBA team.
So basically what you're saying is that they can be represented in everything but sports.
Well, anything,
yeah,
not just
it
sports.
has to be the same. If you
anything where the biological makeup is a difference. Right, so I'm not saying they can't be a top lawyer. They can't. They could be a sports agent. They could be anything they want,
except for sports.
Anything.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, sports, because that's one of the things that where the biology makes a difference. But any other job out there where biology makes a difference, yes, I'm gonna say the same thing.
Like,
I don't know.
Okay,
shuffleboard.
Shuffleboard.
I don't know.
Okay, some of the statistics I pulled today. Mm-hmm. It's 1.6% of the population
that are trans.
That is Transgender.
Okay.
1.6% of the population. And right now, currently, there are 34 athletes in the United States that are trans.
You said 34?
34.
That are professional athletes.
That are in college right
Oh,
now.
okay, college. Okay.
That are in college right now. Out of all the colleges in the United States.
Okay.
So that's a small number.
Two ways. Like, so what if trans women and trans men in the same, does that apply?
But you mean the same? Oh, in your statistics?
Yeah.
So yours is just trans.
It's just trans.
Gender
it's
people.
Just 34 people.
Okay.
34 people right now that are trans.
Okay. That is not. That's not a lot. So
it's not a lot. It's a very small number, and I feel like people are getting crazy about it. They're getting
Psycho.
really crazy about
what
it.
if a trans woman or
trans woman is the one who's changing to the woman.
Wait, trans man.
Trans man, okay.
Trans man. You have to think about it properly.
Right. So a trans man is changing into a woman.
No, it's changing into a man from a woman, right?
Yes.
A trans man is changing from a woman to a man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Trans man competes in male sports.
You really don't see it.
Okay.
I didn't pull up any statistics.
I
did. I couldn't find anybody.
And you won't see that many because
right.
It goes back to my point, right?
Like women are women, they won't want to do.
But
male stuff.
do not tell me my stuff didn't print out. Oh, here we go. So I'm gonna run down some of the more prominent, I guess, trans athletes, transgender athletes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Leah Thomas.
I did see that name.
You saw that name? She won the 100-yard freestyle final at the Ivy League Women's Swimming and Diving Championships at Harvard University. Okay, that was back in 22.
Was that a real person? I mean,
that was a trans woman.
Okay.
Right.
So she was a man.
Right.
Becoming a woman.
She was transitioning into a female.
Right.
Wait. Trans. Okay. Mm-hmm. She swam for the University of Pennsylvania's women's team. Okay. Won 100-meter freestyle. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. If you have somebody who excels in that, it's kind of unfair. Then Renee Richards, professional tennis player in the 70s. I didn't even know they went back that far.
They've been here forever.
No, I meant like where you actually
acceptable.
Saw them
do something, excel,
or say, "Hey, I'm," after her gender reassignment in 1976, the Tennis Association, U.S. Tennis Association, required all female competitors to undergo hormone testing.
Right. To make sure her level of estrogen was the same as a female that she was competing against.
So she applied to play in the women's division of the U.S. Open in 1976, but refused to take the test, so they basically denied her entry. She went to court, and the courts overturned it, and did whatever. Which I think is just because the courts say, something's whatever the term they would use, doesn't mean it's right. Going back to your example of back in the day, they said
we couldn't use the water fountains.
Right.
Or bathrooms or restaurants.
Right. Lashia Clarendon, a guard for the Minnesota Lynx. Now here's the opposite, right? Is the first openly transgender and non-binary athlete to play in the NWA. Did I say NWA?
You did. You said it again.
The WNBA. Straight out of Compton.
What's W? That's women, right?
Yeah, Women's National Basketball Association.
So you're saying that's not a question?
No, I'm gonna get there. But they won gold medal at the whatever, and the.
Did you say trans what?
She's
the transgender woman.
Transgender. So
woman.
she's transitioning into a male.
Oh, she's transitioning into a.
But she's playing in.
But she's playing
the women's
because she's currently a woman now.
Yes, okay. But she transitioned into a male.
Okay.
But she's still playing
as a female.
She's playing in the female league.
Right.
But she transitioned to so how you deal with that? You can't. Well, I say you can't. You can do whatever you want, but
she's still a female either ways.
Yeah, but if you say, well, I want to be a male,
so you can't play in the female.
Then they, using the same logic as having a male play with the women, they could have just said, hey, well, you know what? Now that you're a male, you have to go play with in the NBA.
Men.
Right. So
and is that fair? according to you, is that fair?
Is it fair for her to have to play in NBA?
Yes, because basically what you're saying is
Oh,
you
I'm saying
don't
it's
feel
fair.
like they should.
Oh.
It's fair for her, but not.
I'm saying if
not
she
fair.
no, I'm saying if they say a trans woman can compete in women's sports, then that trans
Male should be able to compete in men's sports.
yeah.
Okay.
So
My head is gonna blow.
I told you it was gonna be a long night.
so she won Outsports Female Hero of the Year award in 2015. But I
Even though
guess
she's becoming a male.
yes. See that's like is no kind of make up your mind. Society, not them. Society, make up your mind.
Society isn't going to make up their
They're
mind
not.
because they're just as confused as we are.
Exactly.
But I think honestly and truly, the bottom line is people just want to be respected
and accepted.
seen, and accepted in the space that they're currently in.
And I totally agree. However,
you don't totally agree.
no,
if
I do.
there's a
No,
however.
I agree with that. They should be, respected, accepted, whatever. But you don't have to have the entire world bend to your will for every single thing that you decide I want to do. Going back to her thing, Felonious' thing about the cat. I identify as a cat, or I identify.
That shouldn't even be in this conversation.
But it is
It
because
really
it's
is.
about
It's also trans.
it's about identifying as whatever, right? They've used, some people have used that, not use that. It's kind of minute, but
yeah, it's very, very
yeah.
small.
But again, when you say I'm open to this and you have the right to do this, that's just an opening for people to say, well, I identify as whatever. And it was something else. It was identify as a dog. That's what it was. A dog. Did you see that?
Oh,
one?
did you see that one that the all the dogs, all the identifiers, gathered somewhere in I can't remember, and then they were all backing and doing woo, woo, and I look like a dog, and all human beings. I'm sorry, but they all identify as dogs, and then they all gathered somewhere, and then they were all barking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so here's another. Chris Mosier began competing in triathlon as a woman, then publicly self-identifies as a transgender man in 2010. He went on to earn a spot. He said he went on to earn a spot on the Team USA Spring Duathlon men's team.
Duathlon.
I guess it's 2 events.
Okay.
Dual, like 2.
Oh, two. Yeah.
For the 2016 World Championship, he's now known as the first transgender
Male. That means he was a female.
right, to represent the U.S. in international competition. Is credited with prompting the International Olympic Committee to change its policy on transgender athletes. Now, what's missing from that statement?
I didn't even hear you. You were like rumbling.
So basically, it was a woman transgender to a transgender man and competed.
Okay.
Right. Let's make what was missing in that?
I don't know.
They didn't win nothing.
which says that they don't necessarily aren't better athletes.
No,
Just
which
because,
she's
you
saying.
know-
It
No,
does.
he's saying
Listen.
saying that she's a woman either way,
And that's why they didn't win, because she's a woman.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and cannot
Oh my
compete with a
God,
man.
no, you
Exactly.
didn't
No,
say
I'm
that.
saying,
cannot
that.
compete
I'm
with
saying
men.
if you again, it goes back to a biological man. I brought the stats. The best, all-time best, fastest female on Earth, and I don't know anybody will ever replace her. Still, would not make the top 100 men's time. It makes a difference, and this is biologically determined, right? So that's what I'm saying. She became a he, and then he competed with the he's and didn't do anything.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm giving you an example. That's why
But I'm saying that's not the end of the world. That they
it's not the
didn't
end of the
do-
world.
That they didn't do.
It's not the end of the world. And I'm gonna say this. I'm putting my man hat on. Like when we look at the
You
Olympics,
had your man hat on the whole time.
so,
Don't even try
but
it.
we look at the Olympics, right? And you're representing the United States. There's a lot of pride in that, like because we want to see the U.S. win. So, not saying that she didn't qualify, fairly. I don't know, but again, that's what people will think because, well, you mean to tell me this woman, well, the transgender man was better than all these other men? To me, that's hard to believe. Because it's not like, all right, we
So
identify.
are you saying there are some women who can't beat men in sports? Is
I'm
that what
saying
you're
there's some women, generally speaking, that they will have a easier time competing with men in some sports, and I'm a identify too. golf, and tennis. I think Serena Williams could probably beat a lot of dudes in tennis, right? And some that she probably couldn't. She couldn't beat. I don't think she could beat a Roger Federer, in his prime, and put her in her prime and him in his prime. I don't think she would beat him in any match. But there's some people
same
that
thing Billie Jean King did to Bobby Riggs.
yeah, but he wasn't no real.
He was a tennis player. He was the top in his field.
No,
at
he
the time,
wasn't.
wasn't he?
No, he wasn't no top nothing.
Okay.
He was.
Still beat him.
He just talked smack.
So are you saying that because he wasn't the best, that's why she beat him?
Yeah, well, yeah. That's not what I was saying, but I will say that now.
jeez.
Let me tell you, I don't. Again, we're going to go with some of the best tennis players, and this is tennis. I said there's more parity in tennis, but if you go with the best tennis players that are women that compete with the women's, and you put them with the best men, I don't think that they will win. If they do win, they may win. I'm gonna say it's more fair that way. But if you had like a 10 match set, I think the men would probably win at least 8.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm being chauvinist about this.
Yes, you are.
I'm saying, but that's real. I just showed you the race times. I'm not being chauvinist. I'm saying men, the best of the best men, when it comes to that thing where biology makes a difference, is always going to be better than the best of the best women. That's a fact. The stats show.
Okay.
Right?
Well, stats.
No, but it shows. It's like
That's one set of statistics, though.
Oh,
come on now.
What up? You tell me a sport.
I don't follow sports, so I can't really
Okay.
tell you. I don't follow sports, and
You don't follow.
it's not
You don't
important
do.
to me.
You don't do soccer.
She said she doesn't follow sport.
Don't start with him. He's just trying to say that's from my native land. Don't start with him. So I couldn't pick out a person.
Okay.
Is what
I'll buy
I'm
that.
saying. I
Okay.
couldn't pick out a person because I don't follow sports and I don't really know. And I think my argument is, again, people just want to be able to be seen, respected, and represented.
And they can do that. And that's what I'm saying.
Just not in sports.
But just no. I'm just saying.
That's what you're saying.
I'm saying I'm not just sports, anything, because I don't know anything else, but but just not in things where it gives them an unfair biological advantage, right?
And what else in life is going to do that?
Okay, so like let's say they had the National Complainers Association, right? So it would be unfair for a woman to get into the National Complainers Association competition because we know they would win.
I hate you so much right now. What are you saying? You know, it's some whining ass men out there. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. Family. I don't know. I'm gonna say this. I don't know. I don't feel like it's that big of a deal.
Oh, I think
really
it's
don't.
a big
I really
big deal
don't.
because it's about fairness. Fairness.
I agree with him, though.
Yeah, fairness. Like I said,
But,
if
but whenever
just imagine.
I agree, it has to be in everything, beauty pageants and all of that.
Well,
It's the
I
same-
just think
it's the same for me.
when it comes to fairness, I think when you
If
have
you're
an
saying
unfair
fairness,
advantage.
you don't say because it's just sports and if it's everything. Like let women be women and men, and let trans people have their own.
Okay, so
kind of
even
thing.
then, like
That's
if
what
she
I
said there was only 34, you said 34?
34
34,
athletes.
that's not enough to the
Right.
yeah, that's not enough
Right.
To do what?
to
To
have their
do
own anything.
Well, have their own association. Have their own
That's what I'm saying, but they wouldn't have enough.
34 is enough.
It's not enough.
It's
What they
enough.
the spades?
National Spades Championship. Is that what you said?
Now, in that, something like that, there's no gender advantage in that. There's none.
Okay, how
even
about
though
like,
men
let's say-
are
let's say
better
like
spades
something like-
players than women.
Okay,
Yeah,
here
right.
we go.
How about something like chess? Like okay, trans.
No chess. There's no
Right.
biological advantage in chess.
Right.
Or checkers or anything that
So
comes with the
you
mind.
are really only talking about sports then.
Well, yeah, and anything else
But
that
then,
comes up
no, you just,
Anything else like
that
what?
I can't think of.
Okay, because that's
Well, the topic is sports anyway, so
right.
right. So, and I'm gonna say even military, right? I'm not going to say that the women can't compete with men, but
But
when
don't they treat them equally in the?
But if they do treat them equal, well, that's up for debate. Yes, military people. But if you put let's say 100 elite Navy SEAL women
Okay.
which has never been that many Navy SEAL women. I don't even know if there's been one.
Wow, that's saying something.
You get my point. Right?
No,
Well,
I'm not
why-
getting your
but
point.
no, but
I'm
why-
saying that it's got to be at least one woman out there that can be a Navy SEAL, is what I'm saying.
Look it up. See if there's ever been a Navy SEAL woman. And if it, oh, that's right, it was Demi Moore.
You know what? I'm quitting. I'm over this conversation. I'm quitting right now.
No woman has
Family,
ever.
I'm sorry.
No woman has completed the rigorous training to become a Navy SEAL. What is a Navy SEAL though?
Boom.
I only
It's
know
a military.
Navy.
It's an elite military group for the Navy. Special Forces. It stands for sea, air, land, because they do it. They do it all.
But-
They're probably the best elite special forces out of everybody in every country
How can
in the
you
world,
SEAL airline?
because it's
SEAL.
well, it's sea, air, land. So SEA, the sea, A is the air, L is the land. And, you know, SEALs fly too.
Okay.
You know,
I'm stuck on the acronym. I'm like, what? Wait,
but that's what it stands for.
I'm trying to spell it. It's like it's not working in my head.
Yeah. Well, it was cool sounding. So, Navy SEAL.
Yeah, I got it.
So, all right, to get back to there was Laurel Hubbard. She's a transgender.
I did see that name.
You saw that?
Mm-hmm.
She was a weightlifter from New Zealand. She set records in several men's weightlifting events in her home country before transitioning in 2012. So she transitioned.
From a man to a woman.
She went from a woman to a man. Right? So
And won or
and
before?
she won. So she went to the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. All right, so in 2012 she transitioned. In 2020 she went to the Summer Olympics. She competed in the women's super heavyweight 87 kilogram weightlifting category, but did not advance after failing on her 3 attempted lifts. Right? Then I could say, well, again, now she's with the men, she's with the big dogs, and she didn't think. But this is my disclaimer on that. I'm gonna give her credit because she set a record for being the oldest athlete to participate. So that may factor into that. Well, no, I'm saying, but it factors in, like, you know, at her age, whatever her age was at the time, she still competed and was, you know, made it. So I'm gonna give her kudos to that. I'm not gonna say what it means for you New Zealand men. Okay, New Zealand. I know you hear this podcast.
And please continue to listen, even though he's insulting you. Please.
Yes.
You know.
So, and it was Skylar Baylor, American swimmer and one of the first transgender athletes to compete on an NCAA Division I men's team. He swam for Harvard for 4 seasons before graduating in 2019. Okay, so it says that doesn't say he won anything, but he swam for him.
Right.
Okay, so it was a woman that transitioned to a man. Then this was different. Jayla Sayolula.
Yeah, I saw that one too. I couldn't figure out how to say that name.
I'm going to say JSS. Right? American Samoan is the first openly non-binary and trans woman to compete in a FIFA World Cup qualifier. The soccer star identifies as let me see if I can pronounce this word, Fa'afafine. Fa'afafine. That's a Samoan term for a third gender.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of the no male, no female.
Yeah, so
So she's non-binary.
Non-binary, meaning, you know, she can switch up anytime she wants, I guess. But so there was Andreas Krieger, is a German athlete who won the gold medal in the women's shot put at the 86 European Championships. He was systematically and unknowingly doped with steroids beginning at age 18, which made him develop visibly male characteristics. Right. And at 31, he underwent the transition thing. So that's sad.
So for a long time, he was transitioning.
Yes, but it's sad because the key in that was unknowingly. And was it unwillingly? Did I say that? Unknowingly.
Wait a minute, what?
So since he was 18, he didn't have a choice. He didn't know that they was pumping him with all these different things.
Who was doing that to him?
The Germans.
How? How did he not know that?
She didn't know.
Yeah, you know.
Your body starts to change. Things start to not be the same.
Well, she could have been kind of masculine a little bit, maybe, and then as she got older,
right,
you know, and
but
competing,
your breasts shrivel up, and
she thought she was Diesel lifting them weights and stuff. You know. So yeah,
I'm struggling, family.
Yeah, but anyway, it goes on and on and on. So you know, my point is that, you know, I don't think that transgender women should compete in
women's
sports. Thank you.
I feel if they're gonna, not just sports, if you're gonna say that, then it should be for everything, not just for sports. I think they should have. Okay, well, you said 34, but well, they should have, but then they should have their own thing and know that, okay, well, they should compete amongst themselves instead of.
But it's not enough.
I'm trying to be.
Makes a difference.
No, doesn't matter.
So let's go to the input from people. All right.
Okay.
So, and it's funny, it's from different countries. So, Charity from Malawi said, let me see what she, biological man should not compete if they were, you know, born a man. Okay, unless they had both, then they should choose. So,
but wait, I'm sorry.
So you're saying if they're
either like
still
amphibian?
Hermaphrodite.
She's an amphibian.
Hermaphrodite.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh my god.
So okay, so they had both, and they, in that case, they were assigned.
Wait.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Do people really always have both?
No, some people do.
Yeah, some people
won't.
have been
Have
born
you
that
seen
way.
anybody?
Some people have been born
But
that
how
way, and
in a
usually
video.
the parents. I wish y'all could see this eye roll. The parents usually decide.
Oh.
if
Well,
they're
so
gonna
it's
be
real.
male or
So
female.
like, what causes that kind of thing?
I don't know why it happens. It's probably
What's my
something to
name?
do with
Doctor?
hormones.
What caused it?
Like,
Oh,
you should know.
the fourth gene on the.
Instead of getting two X chromosomes,
Well,
they got
okay.
four
So
or
in that kind of
something
case, I can understand. Yeah, in that kind of case where they were born some type of way.
Yeah, the parents
Yes,
usually
it's-
decide whether or not they're going to be male or
Wait.
female.
So wait. So if they have like two genitals
Right.
and
They get to decide at the time to say, well, hey,
Right.
they got two. I want them to be a boy.
Right.
okay, wait. So what if at the end of the day they choose? Okay, they take out the manhood and they left with the female part, and then the person still kind of doesn't have boobs and stuff, or it doesn't happen that way. If they take out one part, the other part is just going to be dominant.
I don't know how they do that. And I don't know if they give them, say, like you said, I want him to be a boy. I don't know how they
So I
do that. Like
saw a
do they
movie
give
on
him
that.
hormones to make him continue to grow into a boy? I don't know.
I saw a movie.
Is this
on
a
that.
real movie?
No, it was
be
a real
so.
movie. It was a real movie.
Not a porno.
No.
Per.
Well, I ain't watching those type of pornos. But it was basically the person was grew up in, you know, let's say it was a female, but as they grew up, they noticed, especially, you know, when you get to teen years, that the body was matching that of a male.
Okay.
Okay, so that happened naturally. So in that case, if the person felt that, oh, I'm really a male, you know, then I'm all for them saying, well, let's go get the gender reassignment. You know, I need to choose because I was born this and you decided for me, not nature. Right. Okay. So I'm all for that. But that happened. I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was pretty good.
How about I'm sorry to bring this in. Okay, well, it's not part of it. What's that person? Does that girl Gabrielle something Wade Gabrielle?
Gabrielle Union. Right.
Yeah, and the son.
Yes.
Was it born that way?
No, I think
they just chose for him.
No. The child chose for.
But I don't know how children can. Is that possible?
Yeah, of course. You know,
yes.
like even when I was
I was young, 7 or
no, let me tell you, when I was young, this is why I say, you know, you're born that way for the most part. For the most part, because I remember back when I was young, even the second grade, we knew who were, you know, going to
different.
That's different. We knew way back then. And growing
And
up,
before you knew what gay was.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So
because they acted like girls and stuff.
that and some other things too, like, you know, but mostly that, yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you know that sometimes is based off of maybe because the person. Sometimes it's not because they were born like that or anything. Sometimes it's mostly because maybe you're the only boy amongst girls.
I was the only boy in my
Sometimes
household.
You luckily well, you still have some. You have some qualities. I know.
Or whatever. Now, I think that if you're constantly around only females and you're a male, you're going to pick up some of those mannerisms. But when you talk about the homosexual, you know, that's who they are. You're not picking up.
So you don't think transgender people feel the same way?
Oh no, I didn't.
Okay.
No, I definitely agree with that.
Okay.
You know, and it's no different, to be honest.
Right.
Is that somebody decided I'm gonna do something about it.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I think
I just imagine your struggle, like if just say I was a girl now, like everybody knows I'm a girl, and then
if you was a girl now,
yeah, and then I'm just giving an example.
hey,
Go
she
sleep.
said it.
Go and sleep, and then I changed to become a guy. Then how do you readjust? You know what I'm saying?
It's very
Into the
hard.
society,
It is
and then
very
go back
hard.
to telling people that knew you,
Right.
and then you're like, oh, I'm a guy now.
Well, you know what? I
I
think
can't
I think what
imagine.
makes it more acceptable to them is that they probably felt that's who they were anyway.
all the time.
Right.
All
So
the while,
when
yes.
you know, it's
And
just
have
the
you seen
outsiders.
people? Have you seen some people that they transitioned or became somebody else? Maybe they were a girl and then they became a guy and then they changed back.
Yeah, I've heard. I don't know anybody.
Yeah,
person, but
I've
heard
seen.
that.
Yeah, I've
Right.
seen. So I'm like, so what could have gone wrong? Maybe they realized, oh well, that's not for me.
Well,
And then they
maybe
went
maybe
back.
they realize that, you know, hey, being a woman is not all what it's cracked up to be, or vice versa.
It's harder
No,
than
no,
they think.
no. It's like mostly women that
They
become
become men.
men and then they go back. Oh, then I saw this one where she said, "Oh my God, I didn't know it was so difficult to be a man. It had to pay bills. You had to do this. You had to do that."
Oh,
And then
women
she's like,
do
"Hell."
that anyway.
And she became a man.
Okay,
transitioned
so she
into a
couldn't-
man.
she couldn't handle
couldn't-
this-
No,
the-
the responsibility
the
of being
okay.
a man, and then she went back to being a
Okay.
woman.
Okay,
So-
so we're gonna play. This is one of them that came through. Let me see if I can make sure I get this right. All right, this is. Well, I'll let him.
Say your name.
That belongs to women, like going to malls and going to the ladies' bathroom when you are transgender. No, man.
Oh, true.
It's just weird. Like, I don't mean to sound sexist, but it is just weird. You know, like, absolutely awkward. What would you think? What would you think, Brian? Is it not odd? Fine. The guy eventually looks like a woman. He's got boobs. I don't know. He changed his tool and made it a vagina. And now he's going to the toilet.
Yeah, that's true. That could be
Okay.
a struggle. True.
Here's another question that I want to know. When you become a transgender, do you
What bathroom do you use?
have hormones planted in your body surgically so that you feel and become a woman? Like, how does it work, in fact? If you could just break it down for me, how does it work?
Okay, so we probably need to save that whole conversation for the LGBT.
right.
But let me say this about bathrooms. Nobody should know what you're doing in that booth. If you look like a woman and you walk in a woman's bathroom and you go in that booth and you close the door, who knows what you're doing and who knows what you
But it's
have.
like-
Let me tell you
but
this.
also, like-
Let me tell you about the bathroom thing.
and
It's like
Spider Potts has been transgender
Yeah,
forever.
but
it doesn't
let
matter.
me tell you, if you go to like a club or a bar and there's women that go in there and use the men's
Absolutely.
bathroom. Y'all just
All the
y'all just
time.
always have to invade our safe space. Always.
Oh, I wish y'all could see.
Same
what I'm
with the
doing
clothing
to
stores.
him.
Same with the clothing stores. One that starts off as a man's store, then they get the women's section. Next thing is half and half. Next thing you know, we gotta wait.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's well,
Whatever.
All right, so here's the here's the
Whatever.
second one.
I really don't care about the bathrooms.
No, but you know, places in Europe. No, what was it? Mexico? They had women going in with men too.
Yeah.
They didn't. I mean, nobody
And some
cared.
places just have two stalls,
Right.
with no, female male thing. It's just two bathrooms.
So let's
and
say,
you just go
for
where
example,
you are.
okay, for example, they go to jail, the prison. where
that's a mess.
what
Let me
would
say
they?
that's a mess.
Yeah, where would they need to go? What would
That's
they
a
fit
mess.
in?
Well, I know someone who personally works at a jail, and whatever your license says is where you go.
So even
which
if
is
you're
not good, because if you are transgender female, which means you're transgender, you're
You're a man that
transgendering to a woman, they're gonna put you in a man's prison. They're gonna put you in a man's jail.
Oh.
If you're a man becoming a woman, they're gonna put you in a man's
Oh.
jail, because if your license says Daryl, but you trying to be Donna, you going in a man's jail,
Ooh.
and that's not okay. It's just not.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah,
so that's a problem. That's
a
big one.
problem.
Okay. Interesting. All right, so here's another one.
To respond. Hello, my name is Rebecca. I'm from Uganda. Yeah, I'm here to respond on the question whether the transgender women should participate in women's sports. Well, for me, I think that they should not, because their level of energy, their structure, their masculine energy is not
Masculine
energy.
square. It's not equal to that of women, like naturally women. That is how I put it. So I think it will not be fair for them to be participating in the women's sports, because yes, the truth is that their body is different and they are so strong. They're going to use a lot of energy that is not similar to that of a woman. So, yeah, that is what I think. They should not.
Okay.
I think if you have completely, what's the word?
Transitioned.
Transition. Transition is so weird of a word, because that can mean you're dying too.
Oh yeah.
So, but if you have completely transitioned, hormone therapy, the whole nine, I think you should be able to participate. But again, I'm not a sports person. I don't follow sports. I'm just trying to see what the big hoopla is.
Because let's say you don't play sports, you don't watch sports. Let's say you did. Let's say, right? And you wanted to participate with women, because obviously that kind of makes sense. But somebody comes in and says, well, let's say myself. I say, well, I identify, well, I'm transitioned, whatever, however it is, I'm a woman now. And we come in, we playing basketball, right? Mm-hmm. There is no way possible that would be fair. Although I did lose a basketball 1-on-1 game to my sister, but
yes, thank you, sister, psycho.
That's because I kept missing free throws, but
whatever. But if you have completely taken all of your hormone therapy, at this point in my life, you will be more of a woman than me.
But you still would be a man. You still would be. You would still have, the muscles and the you would still be a man.
I think hormone therapy takes away a lot of that.
I don't think it. Well, perfect example. The female who competed with the women that had the testosterone, right? Well, wait a minute. Yeah,
the estrogen.
The estrogen. She still smoked the group, but she couldn't compete with the men.
Okay.
So I mean, I think it does make a difference.
I'm trying to understand your point.
So. All right, Felonious, what do you say? Or we already what you said. You're standing on that transgender women should not participate in women's sports.
Not just sports.
So anything. Mm-hmm. Okay. And
so you just think they just need to not do anything in life?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying because I'm not saying just transgender women. I'm saying both transgender men and transgender women should not participate in anything that has to do. I don't want to say real women. What do you call us again?
Cisgender. Yeah.
So, they should probably have their own league or their own something that is different, because since they are different, they are changed. They can't really fit, like the same way you said, Jill. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, well, they can't really fit in. You can't really say they are men that change to women. You can't really call them women, and men that change to
Women.
I'm confused already. But, yeah, so yeah, I feel like it's not going to be the same either ways in sports and everything. Like, I feel it's not still the same besides sports. Like, they should, I'm open to having them have their own league or their own trans women's pageant, trans women's swimming or trans people competition. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying,
would if they had trans competition, would they be able to participate together?
So, but wouldn't that be the same thing? Because if you had a trans woman and trans man, there's still a woman and a man, competing.
Exactly.
Which wouldn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sure.
So what are y'all saying is separate but equal?
I'm saying separate and not equal. Certain things are not. Like, all right.
Well, that's life.
So, right, but I'm saying some
Certain
things you just have a
equal.
natural advantage for the most part. If it's something like if all three of us was playing, we had a competition.
I'm gonna win you.
You're not gonna win.
I'm gonna win.
Me either. So if we were playing chess, there's no biological advantage to that. You know, if we were playing,
Well, some people say men are smarter than women.
nah, that's not true.
Because they're idiots,
That's
but
not true.
that's what they say.
I don't think there's any biological advantage when it comes to certain things. Intellect, right? So anything along those lines, sure, you can bring everybody together. That's not a problem. In your example of the beauty pageant, now I think they go more away from the looks part now, right? With these pageants,
They claim that
They
that's
claim
what
they
they're
do.
doing,
Okay.
but that's not what they're doing.
right? So even in then, to your point, that if you're taking these hormones and you're developing certain ways, then that's an unfair advantage too over the woman who didn't take the hormones,
Why?
because of a
You can choose to look a certain way by yourself. I think.
No.
A cis woman can choose to look a certain way.
No,
she can
aside
have
from all that.
surgery, she can
aside
do all
from
of
let's
those
say
things.
aside from the surgery and all that type of stuff, but if a transgender woman decides to get in a pageant and she's taking the hormones, whatever, and but it just gives her, bigger breasts
True, that's
or
what I'm saying.
whatever. So that's kind of like a unfair advantage if they are choosing physical,
based on physical appearance.
because you might have somebody who don't have any hips, any breasts, any.
Because that's
Yeah.
and a cis woman.
But she can get all of those things if she wants.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm
that's-
not saying that how
but
that's
that's-
an unfair.
But I don't wanna-
advantage.
it's
Well,
unfair
no.
because
Not everybody wants.
Yeah.
Not everybody
Oh,
wants. To
I
go-
agree. I agree. But I'm not seeing how that's an unfair advantage because, like I said, she could go out and have surgery and look that way.
Yeah, but I'm saying it would be an unfair advantage because somebody's doing things to make them have that way instead of, why should you be forced just to compete? in
Exactly.
something that-
No, I'm not saying
Yeah.
she's forced to compete because all of the women in the pageants look different. All of them do.
Yeah. But
So,
I'm saying in the judging part, when people are judging and they say, well, this is our standard of beauty and this person has our standard of beauty because.
And for a
know.
trans woman, they have to do their face, they have to do their nose, they have to do certain things to look like a woman, to have features.
there are women who
Some
have
of
to
them
do those things
some
and
of-
look
yeah,
like a woman.
and some of them that be doing a better job.
No, I'm saying,
Yes.
is that going to be like a trans man that would not have anything done? They'll have to have hips. They'll have to have ass. They'll have to have all those features that we have to become a real woman. Don't you get what I'm saying?
But the hormones
A
are
man-
giving them that, and he's saying
Yeah.
that the hormones are an
unfair
advantage,
disadvantage.
Correct.
unfair advantage,
Yes.
and I don't think that that's
Yeah,
true.
I think. Well, if it's based on physical features, it is an unfair advantage, I think.
No,
How could it not?
because she's got the same hormones that I have at this point. If
No.
she's taking hormones, to
So
become
you
a
can
woman,
no, you chose you.
she-
Let me tell you, when you were born, you did not choose to be who you are. You get what I'm saying? It's like from your family, your mom had maybe big boobs, or your family they have small boobs, or they have this. You understand what I'm saying? You did not have a choice in how you were. But men taking hormones, it's like, oh, I need more boobs. I don't know the amount of hormones they need to take. But then, even though I don't think it can do anything to their ass, I think they need to. I don't know how much ass, but not like a lot. Shapely. But not like a lot. Even for the boobs, I don't think it's a lot. It can do a lot.
Yes.
It cannot do a lot. Not like a lot. It would come out, but not like huge boobs. You have to do.
Depends on how much hormones you. It depends on a whole lot of things.
Yeah,
what your DNA is,
yeah.
what your body is, how much hormones you're taking. They can.
So if I take
me
now, my boobs are gonna be bigger and my ass.
No, you already have them though. You have them. So you.
Would it be bigger?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how it affect on.
Right. I don't know. We would have to get a doctor on the show.
Yeah.
We would have to get a doctor on the show who works with transgender people. But I don't feel like that's an unfair advantage. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. Like, it's because it is too many things. Like I said, if it's intellect or certain things where you don't have, that biological, that built-in thing, is an advantage. That's no different than having a football team, and then you have one person who's taking steroids, right? That boost their testosterone, and now they have an unfair advantage over the natural athletes. So NFL recognizes that. They say, well, okay, you're taking steroids. That's not allowed because we know it gives you an unfair advantage. You're cheating. It's the same thing to me. So what do you guys think? Do you think that transgender women should compete in women's sports? Yes or no, and why? We'd like to hear it. Let us know. You can dial 443-860-2716. Send us a text message.
Say that again.
It's a 443-860-2716. You can send a text message or leave a message. You can also email us at Hot Topics, HOTTOPIX podcast at no, not dot. It's an email.
At
gmail.com.
Okay.
Yes. So let us know, and because we're interested in what you have to say, or you can locate that reel and comment on there. So, but thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Listen, like, share.
Yes, always listen, like, share, because we need to spread the word. We need to prove that men are more dominant than women.